My bad, family. My bad. That was all me. My finger, it accidentally hit the button. My bad. I gotta make another part two of this, but that's all right. We back now and we almost done here. So the question posed for tonight, once more again, why don't black people trust our government? Still our government. Still our government. You know what I'm saying? Why don't black people why don't we as a collective, why don't trust the doctor people? Let's get back in this. I'm gonna wrap it up, but I just want you to think.
They go, they just took a couple people and gave them syphilis. No. What they did, they infected men with syphilis. And then they let them go without treatment, without even knowing they have syphilis, to spread it to their wives and their girlfriends, and thus throughout the black community.
So if they did that with syphilis way back in the day, and AIDS actually was manufactured and became a thing, what do y'all think they did with AIDS in the black community? Why? And then as I look at AIDS, I know it was something wrong about it. Why does AIDS attack a black person's immune system like 10 times harder than a white person? You look at the other people, the Asian people, the Arabian people, the Latinos, the white people. You look at those people, and AIDS does not attack their immune system at the rate and speed as it attacks black people. So this just common thinking. As a child, I said to myself, "Oh, this was engineered to take black people out." This and now, if I had that thought, I'm pretty sure a lot of my people followed and they was like, they had the same thought just like I had because it's common.
For decades, while they studied the effects of syphilis on the human body by guinea pigging these Africans. That was just one instance right here in the United States. They used the syphilis.
Now, he said that is just one instance to where they have experimented on us. I'm here to tell y'all today it's 2025. I don't think that experimentation has ever stopped in this country. I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? Since way back when they was making all of them damn instruments on a woman's vagina, and they was using they was using black women, our grandmothers, to experiment on them. They've been experimenting on us for a long time. Modern science and modern medical stuff would not, I don't even think it would existed if they wasn't experimenting on our black bodies.
There has been experimenting on black folks for generations. You can go into Richmond, Virginia now and speak to the elders who say, don't stay out after dark because you might be kidnapped. They might actually steal your organs. Now, I don't know if we're able to prove that happened.
Now, that's still going on to this day. Still going. Every time we look up in the news, one of our people, their body is somewhere in the wilderness in the Everglades, and they're missing all their vital organs. All the time. You know what I'm saying? We know as black people that for some reason, the melanated organs that we have, they're more on the market. If you go to the black market right now, you look at a white man's lung, his lung will probably be here. White man, probably be $100,000. But if you look at a black man's lung, it's going to be like $200,000, $300,000. So as we look at this conversation that we have for tonight, we as black people, we have to understand that these things are still going on. This is not something in the past. This is in the present. You know what I'm saying? And if it's in the present, if we don't change it, you know what I'm saying, it'll be in the future. These things are still going on to this very day. Okay, brother, I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead, brother.
But we do know that those systems preyed upon black people. We do have record of folks being paid to dig up black bodies from black cemeteries for experimentation. So that the history...
You mean to tell me they won't even let our dead rest? Okay, if they don't kidnap one of our people, they gonna go to the cemetery and dig out the body just so they can look at it like a damn cadaver?
Of healthcare, of medicine in this country is one that is littered with racism and institutional racism. We see actually the role that the local government of New York City played in testing AIDS drugs and HIV drugs on black and brown children who were in foster care, saying that, well, because they're in foster care, we are their parents. So we signed over the rights to test these drugs on them. There has been experiment.
Same thing when they start saying, "Oh, well, you know, your kid, they need this pill and they need that pill and they need this pill and they need that pill." When I see them trying to medicate these young youth of black people, I just think that they're experimenting on them. That's what it looks like. You know what I'm saying? Nah, they can't calm down. They climbing the walls. It has to be something to where we can give them a pill. We can give them a pill and we could just take it away. I don't think so, family. And I know that this is a touchy topic for some of y'all.
That's when everybody went crazy. This felt like you fire showing up.
I don't know that. They said that they no longer doing chemical tests. I don't think so, family. I don't think so.
Humane U.S. government experiments on black neighborhoods, and the last one will absolutely break your heart. Number 3. In the 1960s, the CIA tested biological warfare by releasing bacteria into the New York City subway. It spread through Harlem. They called it harmless. It wasn't.
Biological warfare. This is why I say that we still under war with our government. We're still, you know what I'm saying, under our war. There is no race of people that actually live here, no matter how long they've been here, it don't even matter. You know what I'm saying? They have never been experimented on in this country. So when people sit up there and they tell me anything about my people, I'll be like, hell no, y'all don't even know our history. And the things that's been done to our people have never been on your people. You know what I'm saying? All the Asians, when the Asians started immigrating over to this country, was nobody conducting any experimentation on them. When the Latinos and the Mexicans came over to this country in the late 1800s, they wasn't nobody experimenting on them at all. So we're the only group of people that live in this country that our government, it hides all these documents, but it's actively in a war against our people. So not only are we under biological, psychological warfare, you know what I'm saying? We under all of these different warfares in this country. We're being experimented on at the same time. You know what I'm saying? We got biological warfare, and then we got all these different other wars that we're facing, like the war on drugs. That was an active war, but it was still, to me, experimentation on black people.
People got sick. The truth stayed buried until 2008. If you lived in Harlem then,
You mean to tell me it took to 2008 for any of these truths to surface to the top, even though they was done so long ago? And them people, our people, they suffered with no redemption from our government. And so when the people sit up there and they tell me, well, I'm against reparations, you need to be for reparations for what our government did to us recently. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to worry about the past. You know what I'm saying? You got to worry about what our government been doing to us for the last century.
government may have infected you without consent. Number 2, in the 1950s, the U.S. Army sprayed zinc cadmium sulfide, a radioactive chemical, over mostly black neighborhoods in St. Louis. They claimed it was smokescreen testing. It was chemical warfare research. Families got sick. Children died.
Chemical warfare, biological warfare, chemical warfare. Is so many different wars that has been raised on the black community here in this country. We are not some damn test subjects. We are not. We are living, breathing creatures that deserve respect in this country. So that's how I look at the other races of people. Y'all talk about, oh, why black people can't climb themselves up, why they can't climb themselves up and put up on their bootstraps. Because the government is not at war with you. The government has never been warred. You seen what they did to the Red Indians. They got their ass out the way. They put them on reservations. We didn't have that luxury. You know what I'm saying? We did not have that luxury like that at all. We were experimentated in the ghettos. Biological warfare. in the ghettos. Chemical warfare in the ghettos.
The Army admitted it only in 1994. Number 1. Terre Haute Federal Penitentiary.
Okay, they admitted it in 1994. Now, what are you going to do to redeem yourself for attacking a group of people? You know what I'm saying? It actually engaged in warfare with our people. Who can say that? Who, you know what I'm saying? Which one of these races of people who live out here in America, who can sit up here and tell me that the whole government is engaged in biological warfare against their people? Chemical warfare against their people. Who can say that? Besides some black people. We the only people that can say that. And they want to sit up here and cry over some damn reparations.
1940s. Government doctors infected over 400 prisoners, mostly black men, with malaria. Promised shorter sentences, they were instead reinfected and left with organ damage.
The reason why they promised them shorter sentences because they wasn't going to make it at the end of the test trial. They were going to die. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we'll let you out of here in a casket.
Died. The doctor won awards. The men were forgotten. If they did this when people were watching, what are they doing now that we don't know about? Comment.
That's my question. You know what I'm saying? That's my question to all my brothers and sisters. The experimentation has never stopped. Some of these things that our government, the United States, the big bad United States of America government, they want to sit up here and barely declassify all of this information in 1994. In 2008, so I still raise and I pose the question for tonight. What the hell are they still doing to us to this day?
And secrets, if you refuse to let this truth stay buried and follow for more Black history untaught truth.
Okay, I'll go ahead and I'll wrap it up for tonight on this last sit down right here. But just like I said before, this is the reason why black folk, we don't really trust the doctors. This is the reason why black people in general, we just don't trust our government like that. There is no race of people who live in the United States of America that got to worry about their own government exploiting. Well, we had exploitation. We had all of that far as our money, but I'm talking, it's just been so much that's been done to our people. I really mean this. You know what I'm saying? So much has been done. And then the damn shame of it is still going on to this day. So when I look at the money that's owed, the $22 trillion that's owed for reparations, it should be more than that. But that same money is going to liberate black people so we don't have to depend on this government. This government has failed us. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can say whatever y'all want. I'm not going to be mad at you for what you think. But my personal thoughts of the matters is the United States government have failed my people. You know what I'm saying? Then you hear all the white boys in the back. Oh, they so complaining. I don't see your people being experimented on it. I don't see your people being exploited. All these different agendas to take your people out. I don't see y'all going through nothing like that at all. So shut up. Don't say nothing on the matter. Please don't. You're going to make yourself look stupid. Last one, family. Last one.
Experiment that was carried out in St. Louis. Residents tell us they still remember a mysterious fog. Children would run through it. Mothers would try and close their windows against it. For decades, they all had questions, and now we're seeking answers.
So when they doing something to us, you know what I'm saying? The Holy Spirit inside of us is going to alert us to, hey, y'all, they doing something. Something is funny. Something is off. So this is why your brother, I always tell y'all to trust your gut instinct. Your gut instinct is the voice of God that is inside of you. I'll tell you again, you know what I'm saying? The Holy Spirit lives, and your gut instinct is the Holy Spirit, the voice of God telling you that there is something wrong.
The United States Army now admits that it sprayed a chemical that contained cadmium, a known carcinogen, on a neighborhood of more than 10,000 people.
Okay, where's all the other communities that they were experimenting on in this? Just the black people they were experimenting on?
Critics say this was done with no warning and no consent. Well, tonight we return to the site of that demolished neighborhood and speak with former residents who believe the government turned them
They always try to tear something down so they could say, "Oh, that never happened over there. If it was never there, then we don't got to worry about it." That's why so many damn different black cities and settlements under lakes in this damn country.
Into human test subjects. Although the Army admits that the test happened, it is not admitted to harming the residents. News Nation's Natasha Zubez investigates what was in the fog and why the truth may still be buried.
The fog drifted through the streets like a ghost.
That's exactly what it looked like, a thick fog.
It was summertime, it was hot. We would just run through it as fast as we could and try to just cool ourselves off. It stuck to you.
The spray was so foul as far as the odor. It made some of us have headaches, nausea, dizziness.
That's what I remember. It made me sick.
It wasn't the weather, it was an eerie smoke.
I wouldn't be surprised if they used this chemical to fertilize black men and black women. I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I'm saying? If they use this to kill the sperm inside of a black man, for a black woman to kill her eggs and her fallopian tube and all that, so they can't produce children. I wouldn't be surprised at the end of this show, because I ain't watched it all the way through. I'm watching it just like when I do a show, I'm watching it with you in real time. I ain't never watched it before. I just selected it so we could talk about it.
Descending from rooftops, rolling from the backs of trucks.
Regular flatbed truck, but it had a big machine on the back. And it had a big nozzle that really sprayed a fog you couldn't even see through. It was that thick. And it really, we felt it as it would adhere to our skin. And as far as the guys on top of the buildings, they tried to portray them to us as maintenance workers. But we was like, what is a maintenance worker doing? And basically a hazmat suit. And they had masks and goggles.
In the 1950s and 60s, in secret, the U.S. Army sprayed zinc cadmium sulfide into the air of a St. Louis housing project, a largely black neighborhood called Pruitt-Igoe.
It was a lose-lose situation for us in Pruitt-Igoe. We were subjects. We were subjects.
They didn't ask for our permission. We didn't.
This is why I always tell y'all, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what was worser. When they set your grandparents free, the things that your grandparents had to endure while they were fighting for their liberation and for their freedom, are the things that they do to the grandchildren of the slave. You know what I'm saying? It's an ongoing battle. We are engaged with war in our well, I can't even say we're actively engaged, because it's only one party that's fighting. The United States government is fighting black people in this country. I got a tongue twister, my bad. Experimentation on black people in this country has been an ongoing thing since the turn of the century. Hasn't stopped. Ongoing. This right here, you know what I'm saying? This right here was what, the 80s? The 90s?
Asked for them to spray us. My government used me like I was a guinea pig.
We're standing at where Pruitt-Igoe used to be here in St. Louis, and it's hard to believe.
And that's what they do. They tear down all them buildings and make it seem like those people never existed. And when you start asking questions, they'll sit up here and act like that stuff happened in 1610. Oh, that was 200 years ago. No, it wasn't. It was in 1960s. It was only 50 or 60 years ago. This is how they try to play us with their word semantics.
More than 10,000 people used to live here. As we bring our drone up, you can see it's mostly just an empty lot now, overgrown with trees. This used to be filled with 33 high-rise buildings. It was all demolished in 1976.
So the next time them people from other races come up to y'all and they be sitting up over there telling y'all, oh, why black people ain't doing this? Why black people ain't doing this? You sit up there and tell them why our government ain't experimenting on y'all. Why they don't stick y'all up in labs and get y'all sick and divide different diseases to kill your population of people? You tell them that.
According to the National Research Council, St. Louis was chosen for spraying experiments because it had similar characteristics to Soviet targets like Moscow in terms of population density and terrain and proximity to a river.
No, it was because they were black. They were expendable to our government.
The government now admits to a secretive series of Cold War tests, including one dubbed Large Area Coverage. More than 30 tests conducted across the U.S. and Canada.
So you mean to tell me, lady, that anybody that my government would go out there and fight and engage in a battle with their weaponry, they got all their weapons from testing them out on black people? That's what she basically wrapped up and said to a person like me that have a brain. You know what I'm saying? That's what she's basically saying to me, because I think, you know what I'm saying? So all the weapons that they will ever use, far as in chemical, biological weapons, they gonna test them on black people first? And then they gonna go to war?
Spraying zinc cadmium sulfide from planes, rooftops, and vehicles to simulate how a biological attack might spread, all to prepare for potential warfare against the Soviets.
Many of us been in the military and had top secret clearances. We know how it works.
We have died for America. We have fought for America.
You are a veteran.
I am United States Air Force veteran.
Dr. Starks, you're a veteran as well,
Yes, I am. I'm an Air Force veteran also.
Is there a sense of betrayal here?
Definitely.
They want to know if those secret tests have anything to do with what they're observing with their own eyes.
I lost my two older siblings to cancer. I lost a brother last month.
I've been diagnosed recently with a rare form of lymphoma.
I had cancer of the left kidney, had partial removal of my left kidney.
News Nation reached out to the Army for answers. They provided a one-page response. It says the Army's own Center for Health Promotion and Preventive Medicine investigated in 1994 and found inhalation exposure would not pose a health risk. They also cite later corroborating reviews, including a 1997 review by the National Research Council. Perhaps they assumed we wouldn't read the NRC's 380-page report, but we did, and the Army's statement doesn't show the full picture. In that 1997 review, the National Research Council explicitly says repeated exposure to zinc cadmium sulfide can cause kidney or bone toxicity or lung cancer.
Isn't that all the diseases that our brothers and sisters just sit up there and said that they had? Didn't they just sit up there and say, you know what I'm saying? The lady said, oh, they gave us 80 different pages to sit up there and read. They didn't think we was going to read it. But when your brothers and your elders was sitting up there telling you what they were going through, how they lost loved ones, how their bodies are not working so good, and then the government, the Army, sit up there and tell you these are the symptoms of what's going to happen if you spray this chemical. It's a damn shame, y'all. Y'all probably ain't heard in a while.
If levels are high enough. And they admitted they couldn't fully assess the risk. Why? Because some Army records remain classified, it says, for national security reasons. More troubling, key Army exposure records were missing. And when the NRC asked the Army to supply them, the Army said it couldn't find them. Finally, the NRC considered conducting its own study, but concluded it wasn't feasible. In short, it did not test the site, collect samples, or test residents, and they didn't have access to all the data.
Because all them people, I'm telling you, you know what I'm saying, the best way to get away with a crime is to destroy the damn evidence. You know what I'm saying? Destroy all the evidence. And you see, with that city, they made sure they closed it down. You know what I'm saying? They made sure that they bulldozed it over. They made sure they did a whole lot to hide the evidence of what they've been doing to your people.
Their review was based on what the Army gave them and what the Army either could not find or withheld. The Army ends its statement to News Nation by saying, quote, none of the reports contained evidence of a radioactive component to the zinc cadmium sulfide dispersion tests. Residents say the secrecy and delays are...
We're not going to give them radiation poison. We're going to give them something more smaller doses, but they're still going to get the same effect. Basically what she's saying.
No accident.
They're waiting us out.
They're waiting on all of us to die.
But that's not even the whole story, as residents demand to know what else could have been in that spray.
They have not come clean with what was in there.
Do you believe that it was just zinc cadmium sulfide in that spray?
No.
We go to the source, a researcher who has spent decades declassifying government documents about these tests.
Do you believe the U.S. government sprayed some kind of radioactive material on the residents of St. Louis? I believe that they did.
And the government's surprising response to our request to declassify.
radioactive material that was sprayed on children, old people, husbands, wives, babies. This is why I say this is a undergoing war that we are in with the United States of America. There is no group of people. This is why when white people say, why everybody else assimilate? They assimilate right into our culture. Because your damn culture ain't sitting up here engaging in an active war with the damn citizens. Said to you again, why black people can't assimilate into the culture? Because my damn government is at war with me.
Supply information.
I mean, what the hell?
Plus, renowned activist Erin Brockovich weighs in.
Do you think there's been a lie here, a cover-up here?
It sure looks that way.
The residents are asking for an apology.
All you black people got to do, all you got to do is just pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Just pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Get a job, go to school, get an education, save your money.
No, we've been doing all of that. We've been doing all of that. We've been doing all of that and some. It's the fact that our government is engaged in war with us. All of our communities, all of our streets, all of our cities, our mothers, our fathers, our children, our aunties, our uncles, our grandmothers, our grandfathers. The United States of America is warring with black people. And this has been a war. The war that we've been going on with America is the longest war in human history. Give me somebody else that's been under war with their government. I'll wait. Give me somebody else that has been engaged. And it's a one-sided war because only America is fighting. You know what I'm saying? Black people, we ain't fighting. How we fight? We stand up for our rights and for our liberations and for liberty by marching and trying to get some seats up so we could get a voice in Congress. How else are we fighting? We're not sitting up here making biological warfare to fight against other citizens in this damn country.
From the government for being experimented on. They are asking for compensation for health studies for themselves. And
you damn right. You damn right. They should get a form of reparations paid to their ass for what and all of them. Every last citizen of that city in that project, they should get some compensation. They should get reparations for what our government did to them. Let's hear the white people come out and say something now. Let's hear the white people come out and say something now.
Their children. They're also asking for transparency. They want the government to release all the documents about the spraying. So, Elizabeth, tomorrow night on your show, we will go on a journey to try to declassify the one government document that a key researcher tells us she has never been able to expose. And we take the investigation to Erin Brockovich. For the residents still here, still fighting, the question is whether they will get any answers.
It's just like Tulsa, Oklahoma. They sit up there and they said they seen it was only 3 surviving people of Tulsa, Oklahoma. And them evil ass people is going to sit up there and deny them, waiting for them. They sit up there and say, ain't no survivors of the race massacre. It's 3 of them still alive there in their hundreds and you still ain't trying to do nothing for them.
Or it's too late. Elizabeth.
Well, they have a better chance of it with you on the case. Natasha Zubez, thank you so much. In part 1 of our News Nation investigation last night, we uncovered a mysterious fog that once drifted through a St. Louis neighborhood, one that residents still remember decades later.
It made some of us have headaches, nausea, dizziness.
They didn't ask for our permission. We didn't ask for them to.
So I'll end this video because I've been carrying on for some time and I don't want to keep too much of your time. But just know, this is why it's hard for black people to go to the doctor like that. It's why we don't trust the doctor. This is why we don't trust our government, and ain't no other race of people who live over here in North America can say the things that we say about our government. This is the reason why we don't assimilate in the culture of America, because we are actively engaged by our government that's warring with us.